Hello Vivites, a very good afternoon to everyone who is watching this wonderful Facebook live series called as Ask the Doctor. Well, this is a fabulous Tuesday and I'm back again with a wonderful product called as iCoffee. So a very good afternoon to all the viewers viewing across India as well as across the world for this wonderful Facebook live series called as Ask the Doctor, my dear friends. So a very good afternoon to everybody. So let me start this session today. So a very good morning again, so very good afternoon again to all the Vivites. Why I am telling you this is, as you all know that this Facebook live series was broadcasted in the mornings at 11 o'clock before. Now we are broadcasting it at 1:30 p.m. every afternoon. So I'll be coming up with each and every product of Indus Viva at 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon. So the American broadcast that is on the product iVed will be continued every Friday night at 10 p.m. Indian Standard Time, which will be as usual. So there is no change in the time of iVed. So whereas for the other products of India, we are having this Facebook live series which will be broadcasted by 1:30 p.m. every afternoon. I'll be coming and speaking to you, my dear friends. You can start shooting me your questions whenever the clock starts ticking. You can start shooting me your questions so that we'll be able to take up more and more questions and answer your queries, my dear friends. So don't have to worry about the queries which were left unanswered last week. I'll also be taking up those queries which were left unanswered as well as the new queries that come today also, my dear friends. So let me start this wonderful session on this wonderful product called as iCoffee. As you all know that we have a wonderful caption for iCoffee as well. It is controls diabetes without compromising the authentic taste of coffee. As I've been telling you, there are two important things that everyone has to know about iCoffee. So one is the taste part of it, the other is the health part of it. That is the reason why we call these supplements as functional health products or functional health beverages, my dear friends. Because not only giving the health benefits, at the same point of time, it also provides you a very good palatable taste. That is the reason why we call it as functional health benefits, my dear friends. I hope you got my point clear. So today I am going to talk about iCoffee again in this wonderful Facebook live series. As I can, if I remind you again, this is the 7th iCoffee broadcast that we are actually doing as a live on Facebook called as Ask the Doctor series. So if someone is not able to watch this, please do share them the link so that they can share it on the watch parties or elsewhere on the social media platforms, my dear friends. And also let them know that there is another Facebook page called as Indus Viva INC for the United States, wherein I will be coming live every Friday night at 10 p.m. which will be around about 11:30 a.m. in the morning in the United States of America, wherein I will be exclusively speaking on the product iVed, my dear friends. I hope you got the points clear. Please start shooting me your questions right now until I end a short topic on iCoffee. So thereafter I will be able to take up your questions, my dear friends. So as I've told you before, diabetes means it is die in bits. It is always, dying in bits and pieces. That is exactly called as diabetes, my dear friends. It is otherwise called as a slow poison. It kills you on a daily basis. Even though it doesn't have a complete cure, it can only be managed or it is palliative in nature. But it kills you on an everyday basis, and that is why it is called as die in bits or diabetes, my dear friends. As I have told you, India is actually called as the diabetic capital of the world today. So probably after the COVID-19 lockdowns are over and the unlock happens, so we have a very big pandemic in front of us called as diabetes, which will become a biggest pandemic in the world, my dear friends, because India is called as the diabetic capital of the world. So as you all know, that diabetes is India's bitter truth. So if I have to tell you about the statistics, it is around 126% growth rate of diabetes in men is seen, around about 109% growth rate in women is seen. On an average, if you take in a country like India, 128% growth of diabetes is actually seen now, and by 2040 around about 125 million people in India will become diabetic. This is what the statistics usually tell, my dear friends. So going ahead, diabetes is not a single disease. Diabetes is a disorder in itself. So disorder is not a disease. Disorder is a combination of various diseases, my dear friends. So if you have to talk about the symptoms of diabetes, you can definitely suggest these symptoms, tell about these symptoms to your prospects. It might include always feeling hungry. So probably everybody is having your food now, or some people might have had your lunch now or planning to have your lunch in an hour from now. Well, I'll tell you, hunger is a common thing, but over hunger There is especially the feeling, the always hungry, the feeling of hungerness in the body is also a symptom of diabetes, my dear friends. We call it as polydipsia. So along with this, unexplained weight loss. Sometimes weight gain is always seen along with diabetes, but at the same point in time, weight loss is also seen along with diabetes, my dear friends. So both of them are two sides of a coin actually. So unexplained weight loss is also one of the reasons for diabetes, my dear friends. So along with this, there are so many other things like numbness and tingling in the feet, which we call it as diabetic neuropathy. There might be problems in your kidneys called as diabetic retinopathy. There might be complications elsewhere in the body like in your eyes called as retinopathy. Along with that, you will have excessive fatigue and even sexual disorders. These are all put together. These are nothing but the symptoms of diabetes mellitus, my dear friends. I hope you got my point clear. Diabetes is not a single disease, but this is actually a combination of various diseases. That is why it is called as a disorder, my dear friends. Well, along with this, now this is a present COVID-19 or Corona Zamana as I call. In this Corona Zamana, diabetic patients have to be very careful because most of the people who have succumbed to this disease actually have secondary symptoms like diabetes or increased or impaired blood sugar levels in their body. So, one of the important things, one of the studies have shown that 25% of the people who went to a hospital with COVID-19 infections, they had diabetes. These are all very, very typical, very critical values, my dear friends. 25% of the people who visited doctors for getting rid of COVID-19 or affected with COVID-19, their history showed that they had diabetes mellitus. I hope you got my point clear. See, one of the other important things that you should listen about diabetes is the complications of diabetes. This is a very important thing. Diabetes disorder is on the one side. The other side, you have the complications of diabetes, which is actually killing the person in bits and pieces. That is the reason why we actually tell this diabetes as die in bits. I hope you got my point clear. So, along with this, complications, as I was telling, in diabetes, if you see, there are two types of complications which occur. The first is called as a short-term complications. The second is called as a long-term complications. The short-term complications, when you see, the first and the foremost thing is sudden fall in the sugar levels, called as hypoglycemia, and rapid heartbeat. This is also palpitations, as we call. That is also one of the things. Sweating, whiteness of the skin, anxiety, numbness, sleeplessness, confusion, headaches, slurred speech, and even neurotic syndromes. So such symptoms can usually happen in case of diabetes mellitus. Long-term complications usually include the permanent damage which happens in the eyes, kidneys and the nerves, and the heart, brain and blood vessels. So these are some of the major complications. Whatever I explained to you right now happens in case of diabetes, my dear friends. So it can be two types of complications. The first one is a short term, the second is a long term. So whatever the type of complications it might be, diabetes will always kill you in bits. That is what is exactly is called as diabetes, my dear friends. As you all know that our iCoffee is a wonderful product, a dietary health supplement, a generalized health supplement in the management of impaired sugar levels in the human body. So the first and the foremost thing, as you know, diabetes contains a wonderful ingredient called as salsitol, which is extracted from the roots of Salacia reticulata plant, otherwise called as Ekanayakam or Saptaranga. The reference of this plant is already found in the ancient textbooks of Ayurveda dating back to 5000 years, like the Charaka Samhita. Along with this, iCoffee also contains two important ingredients. The first is the coffee beans, the superior quality coffee beans which we have sourced from the Coorg region of Karnataka, which is considered to be the premium quality coffee beans. And one more thing I want to tell you here, we normally undergo or do the process of slow roasting of the coffee powder, which is coffee beans, which is around about 40 degrees Celsius. By doing this, we are removing the caffeine from the coffee beans. So iCoffee Creamer or iCoffee Black, what you have right now, does not contain caffeine, my dear friends. I hope you got my point clear. At the same point in time, whenever the caffeine content is eliminated out of the coffee, the other important thing which prevails in the coffee is the presence of polyphenols. Polyphenols are nothing but antioxidants which will help you to cut down your diabetes levels, my dear friends. So I hope you got this point about the ingredients of iCoffee. See, the other important thing I want to tell you here is caffeine. As normally we all know that most of the caffeinated beverages are available in the world today. Along with that, the regular coffee or tea that we are consuming on a daily basis also contains limited amounts of caffeine. But caffeine in shorter amounts is always important for, it is a very good anxiolytic drug in the sense it reduces your anxiety, it reduces your depression, it gives you some energy. But in the long run, caffeine poses a lot of side effects, my dear friends. Side effects mainly include nervousness, restlessness, insomnia, which is nothing but sleeplessness. It causes anxiety, dizziness, muscle tremors, irregular heartbeat, poor appetite, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, increased thirst, frequent urination, seizures, confusion, headache and lack of concentration. All these things can happen whenever you are consuming caffeine on a longer duration. High amounts of caffeine when it is consumed in a day's time, all these things are going to happen in the future, my dear friends. So you don't have to worry about our wonderful product called as iCoffee Creamer or iCoffee Black, wherein we have totally discarded the caffeine content, by which you don't have to worry about all these kinds of side effects, my dear friends. I hope you got my point clear. So along with this, one of the other important articles which has appeared very recently, it states that the diabetes is also related with a lot of liver issues. I was actually talking about this liver health in one of the Facebook lives of iVed. Similarly, liver health and diabetes is always related to each other. Whenever a person's diabetes levels shoots up, it is always having a significant effect on the liver as well. Especially the patients with obesity as well as type 2 diabetes. These are the people who are more prone to liver disease when it is associated with diabetes, my dear friends. Especially the fatty liver condition is also associated with your diabetes mellitus. I was trying to explain you the complications of diabetes mellitus. Fatty liver conditions are also one of the major complications which can happen because of diabetes mellitus also, my dear friends. So going ahead, as I told you, Salacia reticulata, otherwise called as Ekanayakam or Saptaranga, is one of the major ingredients which is used as a major part of this wonderful product iCoffee Creamer or iCoffee Black. So Salcital is actually a key name. We call it as a techno marker name, which we give it to the ingredient which is derived or extracted from Salacia reticulata roots. See, normally the Salacia reticulata roots are very bitter to taste. See, they are very bitter materials actually, but we have made a product in such a way that your palatability, your taste parameters are maintained, my dear friends. So whenever you are consuming iCoffee, it is always a wonderful feeling for you to consume iCoffee without any bitterness, even though the herb Salacia reticulata itself is a highly bitter herb, my dear friends. I hope you got my point clear. That is the reason why we call this wonderful product iCoffee as a functional health beverage, where it gives you the taste, at the same point of time it gives you the health benefits also. I hope you got my point clear. So along with this, a lot of studies have been done on this wonderful ingredient Salacia reticulata. So one of the major articles which was published on May the 30th, 2015, they clearly told that Salacia reticulata is one of the important herbal extract which can regulate your carbohydrate metabolism, and it can control your blood sugar levels. It also has very good antioxidant effects, and it also has very good lipid metabolism effects, which means that it also has a very good activity on controlling your impaired lipid levels or impaired cholesterol levels, my dear friends. In the sense, it increases your high density lipoprotein or good cholesterol. At the same point of time, it reduces your bad cholesterol or low density lipoprotein, my dear friends. So wonderful activities of Salacia reticulata, what I've told you, you can use them as a promotional tips in the market. Again, I will repeat it for you again. The first thing is it reduces your sugar levels or manages your diabetes. Second thing, it has wonderful antioxidant properties. And the third thing, it is also having very good cholesterol lowering properties also. I hope you got these 3 points clear. Along with this, Salacia reticulata or Salcital contains 3 important components. The first is called as salacinol. Salacinol is an alkaloid which is present inside this wonderful Salacia reticulata plant, which reduces your impaired sugar levels, my dear friends. This was actually notified in the ancient textbooks of Ayurveda, which were dating back to 5000 years old, like the Charaka Samhita, as you can probably remember this. So along with this, it also contains 2 important elements called as mangiferin, and the third one is a polyphenol, which is an antioxidant. So all these things combined together is contained in this wonderful ingredient called as Salacia reticulata, which controls your impaired sugar levels inside the body. I hope you got my point clear. So along with this, the Salacia reticulata has 2 important activities on the human body. The first thing is alpha glucosidase inhibition. The second is pancreatic lipase inhibition. These are the 2 important mechanisms, pharmacological mechanisms, which the Salacia reticulata herbal extract is actually doing inside the human body. by which it controls your blood sugar levels, and at the same point of time it reduces your impaired cholesterol levels also, my dear friends. I hope you got the point clear now. So the last point that I am going to speak on this wonderful iCoffee today before I take your questions is about our publications. See, previously I have told you, again I want to repeat this for you. Everybody please visit our iCoffee.com website, www.i-coffee.in. When you go to this website, there is a validation tab on the right top corner of the website. Please click the validation tab. You will receive 2 important publications on our wonderful product iCoffee Creamer. So this particular publications are international publications which are published in peer-reviewed international high impact factor journals, my dear friends. I hope you got my point clear. So as you all know, please go through those papers so that you will understand how exactly our products are positioned, our products are formulated, our products are researched, my dear friends. I hope you got my point clear. If somebody is not able to open those papers, please do send me a mail at doctor@indusviva.com. We will provide you the publications directly on the mail so that you can circulate it amongst your prospects as well as other people as well, my dear friends. So as you all know that iCoffee is suitable for all kinds of diabetes. It does not contain any sugar in that. It can be taken as long as desired, but I normally repeat that statement always. It is always better to consume iCoffee for a period of 3 months, minimum for a period of 3 months or 90 days in order to get the better absorption inside the body and the better health benefits as well. Along with this, iCoffee can be consumed with all kinds of other medications. It can also be used safely along with the use of insulin. It does not lower the sugar in the human body, which means that it does not lower the sugar immediately, but gradually it lowers the sugar. This is always important. And even a normal person who does not have diabetes, they can also safely consume iCoffee because this can be a protective and a preventive product for future so that they will not be affected with any kinds of diabetes in future, my dear friends. I hope these points are clear for you so that this is a very important discussion, so you can use this for your sales purposes as well as promotional purposes for the product. Please do share these things on the watch parties or elsewhere in the social media platform so that everybody gets benefited by using these wellness products, my dear friends. So thank you so much for your patient watching. So now this is a question answer time. So initially I would like to take up the questions of the last week which were left unanswered. So today my colleague Miss Asma has collected the questions for me. So the first question that I am seeing here is, my mom is consuming iCoffee but still the sugar level is not controlled. She is taking the medicine as well. Please suggest and also the diet. See, someone has asked this question last week. Suppose if you are watching this or if you are not watching this, please watch this later on so that your question will be answered now. As I've told you previously also, in the country like India where the population is so much, the demography is so much, 5% of the population across the India, normally we say that the sugar metabolism is always on the higher side and the impairment is more. In such people, even after the consumption of iCoffee, the sugar levels will not reduce sometimes. See, one important thing that everyone needs to follow here is, please stop the iCoffee in the morning times. Please continue 1 sachet of iCoffee in the afternoon, half an hour before your lunch, and 1 sachet in the night, half an hour before your dinner. So please stop it in the morning times. This process will actually control the sugar levels only in those people whose sugar levels have increased after the consumption of iCoffee, my dear friends. Suppose if you have a doubt on the diet pattern, please do send us a mail at doctor@indusviva.com. We are happy to help you with the best of the best diet that we have. So the next question that we are seeing here on the screen is, in case of arthritis, iCoffee can be suggested or iPulse. I would tell you that both in case of arthritis, iCoffee as well as iPulse, both the products can be suggested. Definitely if a person is more diabetic towards diabetes, one can suggest this iCoffee also along with the use of iPulse, my dear friends. So the third question that I am seeing here is, can iCoffee be used for high cholesterol? Absolutely a right question, because I have told you previously also, salsitol is an ingredient which not only cuts down your sugar level, but it also cuts down the low density lipoprotein or the bad cholesterol and enhances the high density lipoprotein or the good cholesterol, my dear friends. I hope my point is clear. So the next question that I am seeing here is, 4-year baby with type 1 diabetes with 12 units of insulin, can we suggest iCoffee? Absolutely yes. Above 3 years of age, you can definitely suggest iCoffee Black to this particular kid. You can give at a dose of half sachet 2 times in a day, half an hour before the food is given. I hope the point is clear. So the next question that I am seeing here is it advisable to add extra milk as well a bit of sugar or jaggery to iCoffee. Suppose if you are a normal person without diabetes, you can add a bit of milk or a bit of sugar or jaggery to this particular product. Suppose if you are a diabetic person, please do not add milk or sugar or jaggery to iCoffee. I hope my point is clear. So the next question that I am taking here is, if the diabetic person is taking insulin, how much time or days it will take to get positive results? See, as I told you, insulin conditions are called as type 1 diabetes, or sometimes type 2. When it is uncontrolled, one can definitely have these problems. Insulin dependencies usually start. What I would suggest you is, persons taking iCoffee at least should consume iCoffee for a minimum period of 3 months. Maximum it can be taken as long as desired to get the better health benefits, my dear friends. So the last question of the last week I am taking here is, one of the distributors have asked me this question: are there any steroids in our wellness products? A very, very good question, a very important query. I don't know who has asked this, but this is a very important query. I would like to assure you and tell you that none of our wellness products have any kinds of steroidal molecules in them. They are free of steroids, not even plant-based steroids. Leave alone the synthetic steroids, not even plant-based steroids. None of our products have any kind of steroidal molecules. I hope my point is clear. So the next question of the day that I am taking here is, in the morning I take water, after about 1 hour I take iCoffee, and before half an hour I take iPulse. Is it the correct order? Absolutely fine. You can follow this way. There is no issues with that. It is a correct order. So the next question that I am seeing here is, person who is pre-diabetic with severe pain in the foot and nerves, iCoffee along with iPulse, can it reduce foot pain? Absolutely a very good question, and the answer lies in the question itself. You can have both the products together, iCoffee as well as iPulse, in a combination, definitely can reduce the neuralgic pains as well as the complications of diabetes, my dear friend. So the next question that I am taking here is iCoffee in India and iCoffee in US are the same? Absolutely same, my dear friend. Probably in the future we will be launching iCoffee in the United States of America. The formulation remains absolutely same, my dear friend. So the next question that I am seeing here is, ingredients and phytonutrients available in iCoffee. As I told you, there are 3 important ingredients which are present in iCoffee. The first one is the salsitol, the second is the coffee beans, the third is the mucuna prurens or the kapikachu extract. So these are the things which are actually present in iCoffee, my dear friends. I hope you got my point clear. So the next question I am taking here, can we suggest iCoffee to a person with gastric and stomach bloating problems? Along with the use of iPulse, iCoffee can be used in case of gastrointestinal related issues, my dear friends. So the last question of this day, today I am taking is, so for neuropathic pains, can we suggest, so the same question what I am trying to give, this is the last question of the day. What is the dosage in such condition? Especially they are talking about the neuropathic pains. As I told you, one of the major complications, a long-term as well as a short-term complication of diabetes, is the neuropathy, which is nothing but the degeneration of the nerves as well as the pain which happens in the extremities. Definitely you can consume 1 sachet in the morning and 1 sachet in the night, half an hour before your breakfast and half an hour before your dinner, for healthy benefits. At the same point in time, iPulse can be taken at a dose of 20 ml in the morning, half an hour before your breakfast, and 20 ml in the night, half an hour before your dinner, for better health benefits. So for diabetes people, it is always better to consume 20 ml twice a day of iPulse in order to get better health benefits, my dear friends. So thank you very much for posing all your queries. I hope the answers are getting cleared here. Please don't worry if your questions are not answered. The next week, the next Tuesday, I'll again come back on another iCoffee day. I'll be able to answer your unanswered questions of this week, followed by the next week's questions, my dear friends. Thank you very much for your participation as well as your enthusiasm in participating and getting knowledge from this wonderful Facebook Live series, my dear friends. Thanks a lot for that. I would like to repeat that this Facebook Live series is broadcasted every day in the afternoon by 1:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time for all the Indian products, and 10 p.m. for US product on every Friday. That will be around about 11:30 a.m. in the United States of America, my dear friends. So thank you so much for your patient watching again. So this is Dr. Balu Kolar, Head of Product Development and Training at Indus Viva Health Sciences Private Limited, Bangalore, India, signing off. Thank you very much. Have a nice day ahead. Bye.